Good morning everyone and welcome to the third day of the Triathlon Mockery Ironman St. George World Championships special. I just had a wonderful night's sleep, but we're lucky enough today to meet Skye moench, big guns from the US, for a 3-hour ride. I'm wearing my Ironman finisher t-shirt, so she knows I'm able to keep up. I've got some mileage in my legs. Last year, she won Ironman Chattanooga, came in second in Florida and third in Tulsa. So she's some serious heavy guns for the Ironman World Championships. We're in the RV, we're sitting at the RV on the parking lot here in the beautiful, it looks like a bit of a ranch, it's the proper American dream.
Yeah.
Only 4 hours down your house. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, really happy to be here. It's a lot warmer here than it's been at my house as well, so. You
brought some massive support. We've got this little junkyard dog.
Yeah.
He'll be there on race day.
Yeah, Winston.
Looking at like how your year went in 2021, I'd say you're more of like an Ironman distance, like that would suit you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How would you think this course in particular would suit you compared to like a Kona?
Well, I haven't been to Kona, so it's hard for me to say, but I think the nice thing about St. George is it's unrelenting the whole time. Like, everyone just keeps talking about how hard the bike course is, and it is hard. And then, you know, you don't jump off the bike and get onto this flat run. You go on a up or downhill run, and I think it's just going to present some extra fatigue and challenges, and we also don't know what the weather's going to be.
But how did you think the swim? How did it go? Like, was it cold?
Good. Like, yeah, I mean, it was cold getting in, but it wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. Like, my face wasn't completely frozen. I still could use my hands after an hour, though they were kind of numb. But not as bad as I thought, to be honest. And the water was actually pretty smooth when I went, so Lionel must have slept in really late.
Who is it, like, who's your rival and who would you bark at it? So you're going head to head in a race, who would you bark at like a junkyard dog to mentally break him?
I would definitely bark at Kat Matthews for sure. Even though she's like beat me in every race, I still, like, we're always close enough in the race with each other for so much of the race. She deserves a few barks. But also I would bark at Heather Jackson as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had someone telling me that if you smell a certain smell, you have to go to the toilet. What smell in a store? Oh. What smell would that be?
Okay, well, I don't have a smell, but there's like stores that make me go to the toilet. Like if I'm just out like shopping, just like leisurely browsing, I don't know, it's like relaxing. And then all of a sudden you're like, I have to go to the toilet. So it's not a smell, it's just like the vibe.
But you checked out the wrong course and you made sure them stores are not on course.
Yeah, I won't be running through any of those stores on the course.
All right, nice one, that's great.
Yeah, so you can't get me with the smell on course.
Have you got anything, like, you know, I've only probably got like 10 years or 5 years or whatever, and this is what I want to do after triathlon?
Well, I was a certified public accountant before triathlon. I did business taxes.
Oh, I did as well.
Really? Yeah.
It's pretty flippin' boring.
Yeah, so I have like a master's degree in tax accounting, and I've kept my CPA license up, but I think I'm going to let it lapse this year because I realize I probably don't want to go back to that.
Did you previously work for one of the like...
yeah, I worked at EY.
EY?
For 5 years.
PwC.
Oh yeah, cool. We're like the same.
So interesting.
Oh my gosh. Not interesting.
Right. So
but right now it's like full focus triathlon.
You wouldn't say it's your hobby to file a tax report?
No.
Yeah.
No, I avoid it now. People are like, oh, can you help me with my taxes? I'm like, nah, trust me, you don't want me helping you. I'm too busy with triathlon.
All right, great. Well, good chat. Pepe, let's get the bikes. We're back on the bikes. We just stopped at a gas station.
Yeah.
Because Americans love their cafe stops at gas stations.
That's all we've got. That's all we've got.
Why wouldn't you have like proper cafes here? Doesn't it like a nice cafe?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think Americans, we're too busy. We're in too much of a hurry all the time. We don't want to sit down and spend an hour to drink the coffee. Like, just go through the drive-thru, get it done, get to work.
If you compare these roads to riding in Europe and Switzerland, because sometimes I look at Strava files of Americans, and literally it's like 3 corners and doing like 300 miles, you know? What would you prefer then? Riding in Switzerland in the mountains or long American TT roads with no corners?
Swiss mountains any day.
Really?
Yeah, I love climbing.
Looking at the professional females in general, you see that the majority they find that triathlon is really like starting to get turned professional later on in the race, like around the 30s. Why do you think that is? I mean, you've been in the country before, you've worked like that, and you find about triathlon, I guess, later on.
Yeah. I turned pro when I was 27, I think. College was too easy. And now I need something really hard to do. Sitting at a desk was too easy. I need to go be a triathlete and have...
How at some point did you get into triathlon then? Were you doing it when you were younger?
Not really. I fell in love with running really young. So I did a marathon when I was 16 with a neighbor.
What time did you do it in then?
It wasn't anything crazy, but it was like...
250?
No.
Nothing crazy.
4:15, I think. It was like 4 hours something. College, I did a few triathlons. After my internship at EY, I saved enough money to buy a bike and wetsuit and everything. Just like a road bike. I spent $1,500 and got everything, so that tells you how nice all my stuff was. So then I just started dabbling in triathlon. I did half marathons. I'd run every morning before work. But I was just addicted to like the endorphins and now, exercise. I loved it.
You started when you were 27.
Yeah.
So that's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And now here you are, like ranked 8th in the world.
Yeah.
Won a couple of Ironmans.
Yeah.
Living the American dream.
Yeah.
That's the American dream, baby. That's what we're talking about.
Right here.
That's what we're here
Riding
for.
purple Trek bikes. Yeah, it's the best. It's all I ever wanted. No, it is really cool though. Like, when I started, I had no idea what I was getting into. I thought I'd get sponsors so easy, win races easy. And it took a long time to get there. So I'm very grateful to now have the American triathlon dream.
You're just riding this line, so you're like in front of the cam.
Yeah.
So Skye, how are we climbing today? Because you rocked up in your wind vest and you're wearing like arm sleeves, making me a little bit scared.
No, don't be scared, Tom. It's just because I hate being cold. I just spent the last 6 months freezing my ass off in winter.
You hate being cold, but it's 27 degrees. What's that in Fahrenheit today?
There's no way it's 27 yet.
What?
Is it? Let's see what my Garmin says.
I know, but Mozzarella Belly says like flipping 27 or something.
It says 72 Fahrenheit, which is like 20, 21 maybe?
But still, wearing arm sleeves in the wind vest, to me.
Hey, I took the vest off.
Nuts. This is a peak day in Dutch summer, like absolutely peaking.
Well, where I come from, this is like not peak summer weather, so.
It's just getting the engine going.
Plus, you know, it's gonna be hot on race day. I gotta acclimate. That's what I'm doing.
All right, so this is a sneaky age group tip. If you want to acclimatize, put on that jersey.
Get the
and this
arm
is like
warmers.
what is it? Some sort of thermo thing?
Yeah.
And then sauna battles. Have you done a sauna battle previous to this one?
I've been previous to this one. I haven't done a proper battle. I've only really battled myself in the steam room with my training partner.
What are your plans for after the race? Did you already fantasize about that? I mean...
Yeah, I have fantasized about that.
What would that
It's been a long winter of Ironman training. All right, good 3-hour ride with Tom.
How did I do?
You did good. You kept it under LT2, LT3, you know. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsors, especially Trek, SRAM, Zip. I'm here in my Ossos kit.
Purple American Dream. That's it. All right, docs will be cheering for you on course. So we came back from a ride with Skye, and that literally left from Snow Canyon that's where we did our ride. Got the RV van, we drove all the way around, literally, this is the 15 highway, this is our RV car park, and then you've got the city center, and then over here is where they will swim. About 30k, a bit less, like 28, 29 miles, a bit less, like 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 Ks, that's it. 20 miles, 30 Ks, 32 Ks, something like that. That's the whole thing about this course. The swim is about 30k away from the finish line. That makes it harder for spectators as well to get the course. And we don't know where to go yet, but anyway. So we made it to the city center of St. George, right here at the City of Historic Sculpture Garden. St. George is named after George A. Smith. He was a leader of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-Saint. So yeah, St. George. We're looking for a sculpture, couldn't find it. Anyway, it's founded in 1861 as a cotton mission. So Pepe, let's scoop around for some culture, as well as the first Ironman things in town. Basically anything, anywhere where we see Ironman, literally city is breathing, it's pounding, it's living. You can see it, Ironman is everywhere, look at that. So as we can see, Pepe, Kumukāhi, meaning new beginning in Hawaiian. That is probably because we didn't have any Ironmans on, no World Championships on during COVID, no World Championships in 2020, nothing in 2021. So they wanted to have a World Championships this year, so they're hosting this one in St. George, but still some Hawaiian in there saying Kumukāhi, new beginning. It's a new beginning, let's go. I like the look of this. Let's go! LT3, baby. So obviously this wasn't for fun, but for historical purposes, as obviously St. George, George A. Smith rode into this town on a horse, and we want to see what it's like and get your heart pumping. Let's go. Now, one thing that does strike me here is Monday is race week already, and if I compare this to Ironman Kona in Hawaii, even like 2 weeks before the race and at least 1 week before the race, you'd see so many athletes walking down on a Lee Drive, and that's one thing I miss here in St. George. If you look around, there are some age groupers coming in, but still hardly any, so they'll come in later on this week. Yeah, and as you can see, they're building up already, everything's done, but it is different than Kona, like the whole sensation, well, till now, but hopefully that's all going to change in the upcoming days. And Pepe, we're ready. We're ready, Freddy. Let's do it again. So Ari, anything this week that came to your attention or anything?
Yeah, well, it's pretty hot here, so on race day it's going to get to like 90 degrees Fahrenheit is the forecast, so it's like 30, 35 C or so, and that's for the pros. So,
got you, baby.
All right, 1-0. So for the age groupers, they'll be getting off even later. Like they'll be biking, it'll be 90 degrees, it'll be properly hot while they're running. So.
Oh, that one doesn't count.
And then it gets really windy here. The bike course is really hilly, so that adds on time. So the conditions are just really, really hard, and it's going to destroy people. So, I mean, probably similar to Kona as far as you got to kind of race the conditions. But if you think about let's say the top swimmers get out of the water and they want to keep their gap and they're working really hard. you know, they could overbike really easily, and then all of a sudden you get off the bike, it's, you know, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 C, and you worked really hard on the bike to keep a gap to the good cyclists. That might hurt.
Yeah.
You know.
The thing is, the water is, well, in degrees, it's 14 degrees. What's in Celsius?
It's
in
like
Fahrenheit?
60, 62.
60 Fahrenheit. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely
It's
freezing. And last night in the camper van, because I looked online, I saw 33 degrees, and I thought at night it's going to be like all right. I've camped before, and it's always boiling in a tent or in a camper. Whereas it cooled down so much in St. George, I was freezing. I woke up, I was like, flipping hell, is this like Canada or something?
Yeah, it's like 10 degrees.
So if you're doing the swim, at night, you're done at like, well, let's say, what's the start time? Don't even know.
It's going to be like 6:15 a.m.
So
for the pros.
Anyway, it's still going to be freezing in the morning, so 12 degrees. I don't know what's in Fahrenheit, but people are going to really come out of the water quite fresh and cold. And very soon it's going to heat up and become 30 degrees. So the difference is absolutely massive in the morning. And I know Massa don't like that. He don't like that at all. I need a fine line. Did you like the water, the cold water? Did you swim in it already?
No, we didn't go today because it was too windy.
What, too windy for a swim? I've
Yeah.
never heard of something in my life before. Too windy for a swim?
Mate, because we had Erin was going to rent the kayak, and she didn't want to rent the kayak, so we didn't want to be out there all alone. Can you imagine just two people in that reservoir? We could die. Especially two people like me and Lionel. We don't know how to swim.
Yeah, that might be true.
I mean, Lionel's learning how to swim. I don't know how to swim, right? Can you imagine Joe and Tom out there in the reservoir, just them two? Windy, no kayak, nobody out there.
Well, I mean, even in a race, there's always no kayak where we are swimming. Well, good night, everyone. Right now it's exactly 11 p.m. Done for the day. Thanks for watching. And if you want to help us, please share the videos, as well as if you've got some deep pockets and you want to sponsor the Triathlon Mockery or be a patron of the show, go out, check out the link in bio, and we'll see you tomorrow for a new video, because we'll be back every day.